May I kindly request that the Chancellor, His Highness the Aga Khan, address the convocation.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Ministers, Trustees and President of the University, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Deans, faculty and staff of the University, parents, donors, supporters and distinguished guests, and graduates. Hamjambo and Karibuni. Hongera. Wanafunzi wote. What a remarkable day this is, and what a pleasure it is to be here. This is a very important day in your lives, of course, and I must say that this first chance to share in East Africa AKU Convocation makes this a singular day in my life as well. As your Chancellor, it was I who first proposed to our trustees that AKU should expand from Asia to Africa to meet its chartered international mandate. Therefore, it is with particular happiness that I received the charter of the Aga Khan University from President Kikwete yesterday at a ceremony at State House. This is the first charter in Tanzania granted to an international university. It reflects, I believe, AKU's demonstrable record of producing outstanding graduates in Tanzania for the last 13 years. This is a historic milestone as it sets the stage for expanding the university and introducing new schools, faculties, and institutes in Tanzania and in the region. In the search for Africa's development, how can any of us forget that throughout human history, there has never been greatness without expanded knowledge? And is that not the precise purpose of a great university? I've always felt that there is a kind of magical feeling about a graduation ceremony. Think about it, all of you graduands. You've walked in here earlier today as students of the Aga Khan University, and you will walk out of here later today as graduates of the Aga Khan University and distinguished AKU alumni. Bravo. That transformation, of course, symbolizes the transformation you've experienced throughout your time at AKU. You may look the same as when you arrived here for the first time, perhaps slightly plumper, or skinnier, or bolder, or grayer, but surely a great deal more fascinating, and more confident too, I would hope, in your ability to contribute to the betterment of our world. The degree or diploma that you receive today is something you will take with you for the rest of your lives. The education you've achieved here is something that no one can ever take away. We celebrate each of you graduates today. Bravo. And we also celebrate so many who have contributed to your success, your parents and families, friends and colleagues, and those who have contributed to university life, faculty, staff, donors and trustees, as well as government and community leaders. Like each of you, personally, the university also remembers its heritage on a day like this. That heritage is rooted in the rich history of Islamic intellectual accomplishment, including the work of my own ancestors in ancient Cairo 1,000 years ago, when they founded the Azhar University and the Darul Ilm, the House of Knowledge. This story continued over several centuries as Muslim centers of scholarship and culture involved and inspired people of many traditions and faith communities. A respect for diversity, a welcoming cosmopolitan ethic has been a hallmark of this heritage, an increasingly relevant legacy in the emerging borderless world that President Rasool has so aptly described. It was this heritage that inspired my grandfather as Imam of the Ismaili Muslim community to make education a top priority. In fact, he started the first Aga Khan school in Africa over 110 years ago in Bagamoyo, here in Tanzania. And that same legacy was in our minds when we began planning for this new Aga Khan University. I well remember those conversations as early as in 1975, and I remember them to be exact. We asked a host of questions, and a host of wise people helped us address them. Harvard University drew up our blueprint. Our biggest question was whether a new university in Asia and Africa, in this day and age, could achieve sufficient levels of excellence as measured by world standards. Well, we decided to try it. The Aga Khan University was founded in Karachi in 1983. It recently celebrated its 30 years anniversary. And then in the year 2000, we expanded into East Africa. Today, the Aga Khan University remains the only privately supported university with major academic programs on both the Asian and the African continents. Over a relatively short time period, we have extended our work into 8 different countries. We created 2 degree or diploma programs in the 1980s, 2 more in the 1990s, and another 21 programs since the year 2000. Altogether, we have graduated over 12,000 students, over 2,000 here in East Africa. And you will soon become the most recent. Altogether, in these 15 years, some 1,900 nurses have been trained here, almost half of them earning Bachelor of Nursing degrees. So have some 3,000 teachers, including 250 with Masters of Education degrees. But the most important point is the multiplier effect that you can have as you pass along your skills and your standards. I think, for example, of programs which have trained almost 1,000 head teachers of secondary schools just in the last year, a striking example of this powerful multiplier potential. The quality of these programs has been endorsed not only by the World Health Organization, but by standard setters such as the UK College of Physicians and Surgeons and the US Joint Commission International. But the best endorsement by far is the success of our graduates. When they take licensing exams or apply to other schools or go to work for new employers. In the end, however, our most important accomplishments are not measured by quantity, but by quality. It's not so much that 12,000 people were educated at AKU, but rather that one person was educated here, and that this individual life-transforming story has happened now some 12,000 times. As we look to the future, I'm increasingly impressed by one overriding insight. It reflects the vast flow of information that has come my way as I've watched the ups and downs of the developing world. More and more I'm convinced that the key to improving the quality of human life, both in places that are gifted with good government and in places that are not so fortunate, is the quality of what I describe as civil society. By civil society, I mean that array of institutions which are neither public nor profit-driven, but which are motivated by voluntary commitments and dedicated to the public good. They include, for example, institutions dedicated to culture, to public information, to the environment, and to religious faith. And they include, very importantly, the fields of health and education, in which you are so centrally involved. A healthy civil society is a meritocratic one, where ethics are honored and excellence is valued. And the great question now confronting us here in Africa is how rapidly the institutions of a healthy civil society can be established and reinforced. In this process, the role of the university will be central as it advances and shares new knowledge. From the start, over 30 years ago, this university's founding blueprint envisioned a multi-campus, multi-continental university, comprehensive, broadly integrated, and research-driven. That vision, as you have heard, is now coming true. A major building block will be our new campus in Arusha, opening in just 4 years, as home to our new Faculty of Arts and Sciences, plus 2 professional graduate schools. When you visit the Arusha campus in a few years, you will also see a new teaching hospital, a training hotel, new community schools and housing facilities, a technology and research park, and an important new library. Other AKU initiatives across the region, as the President has mentioned, will include our Graduate School of Media and Communications, opening this year in Nairobi. Other graduate schools will follow, specifically designed to advance a healthy civil society in specific African contexts. They will include schools of leadership and management, hospitality, leisure, and tourism, architecture and human settlements, government, civil society, and public policy, economic growth and development, law, and education. At the same time, a new campus in Dar es Salaam will house the Institute of Educational Development. Our Faculty of Health Sciences will develop new undergraduate medical and nursing programs in Kenya, a new teaching hospital and medical outreach centers in Uganda, a postgraduate residency programs throughout the region. So as the East African community is built politically, so will AKU become increasingly regional. Meanwhile, we will continue to expand our inter-university partnerships across the world, lending further credibility to our work and to your degree. That is a long list of new initiatives, but not an unrealistic one, any more than it was unrealistic to plan for an intercontinental university 3 decades ago. And let me emphasize that we see these various units as integrated parts of one university, working closely together across academic disciplines and also across nations and continents in our increasingly borderless world. These developments also mean that AKU will continue to be a valuable reference point for you with its Africa and Asia-specific research and its continuing education opportunities. And even as the AKU story develops, so can your relationship with the university. So let me put you on notice. This is not a farewell ceremony. In fact, an event like this is often called a commencement, since it marks the beginning of so many great new stories. We hope that you will share your stories with us in the days ahead. And we hope, whenever possible, that you will continue to be a part of the university's story. And so it is that we come together today, both as grateful inheritors looking back on an accomplished past, and as eager explorers looking ahead to an exciting future. It has been an honor for me to share this day with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Highness. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the graduates for 2015. We begin with the graduates from the School of Nursing and Midwifery. I invite Dr. Karinusa Damani, Academic Head of the Advanced Nursing Studies Program in Tanzania, to announce the names of the graduates who will be receiving their degree. May I request that the Chancellor confer the degree upon the graduating classes. May I request that President Firoz Rasool accompany the Chancellor. And may I request that the University Registrar, Louis Ariano, assist.
Your Highness, President Firoz Rasool, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, faculty and staff of the university, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce the names of the graduates from the School of Nursing and Midwifery who have successfully completed the required program of study and upon whom will be conferred the degree Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Agnes Sia Machange, Ilala Municipal, Dar es Salaam. Alice Mukulu George, Sinza Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Bertha Urasa Kikoti, CCBRT Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Brigitter Michael Cheo, Mandizi Health Center, Coast Region. Deusdedit Kabakaki, Lugalo Military Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Flora Paul Chiara, Muhimbili Orthopedic Institute, Dar es Salaam. Jacinta Joseph Kamaleki, TMJ Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Martha Godfrey Kilonzo, Lugalo Military Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Modesta Gilbert Ungani, Muhimbili National Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Nazahed Richard Mkurmani, Muhimbili National Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Novest Ludovic Mate, Prinmat, Dar es Salaam. Robbie Moses Marwa, Tumbi Regional Hospital, Coast Region. Samson Juma Owenga, Aga Khan Hospital, Dar es Salaam. Sophia Kalindwani Mokonongo, Tukuyu Government Hospital, Beira Region. Subira Ilyas Kalinga, Muhimbili Orthopedic Institute, Dar es Salaam. Vincil Amara Jyoti, Moyo Safi wa Maria Health Center, Dar es Salaam. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Damani. May I now request Dr. Riaz Ratansi, Program Director for Family Medicine in Tanzania, to announce the names of the graduates who will receive the Masters of Medicine degree.
Your Highness, President Firoz Rasool, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, faculty and staff of the university, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce the names of the graduates from the Medical College East Africa who have successfully completed the required program of study and upon whom would be conferred the degree Master of Medicine. Dr. Miriam Mima Kamonya, Family Medicine, Kenya. Dr. Tabitha Alexandria Njeri Nyanja, Family Medicine, Kenya. Dr. Visavilwa Vincent Lamuka, Family Medicine, Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ratansi. May I now request Dr. Pauline Ria Dickens, Director of the Institute for Education Development in East Africa, to announce the names of the graduates who will receive their Masters of Education degree.
Your Highness, President Firoz Rasool, members of the Board of Trustees, honored guests, faculty and staff of the university, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce the names of the graduates from the Institute for Educational Development, East Africa, who have successfully completed the required program of study and upon whom will be conferred the degree Master of Education. Agnes Rock, Tanzania. Albert Wanjala Mauka, Kenya. Alvin Benson Lema, Tanzania. Amiri Bakari Kaniki, Tanzania. Anyenda Susan Mary, Kenya. Baraka Roberti Muhindila, Tanzania. Catherine Kathini Wambua, Kenya. Dickens Otieno Olum, Kenya. Gabriel Wafula Nyongesa, Kenya. Jevas Anthony, Tanzania. Jane Wambui Kariuki, Kenya. Jean Antunes, Brazil. Josiah Joel Kinyua, Kenya. Josephat Semperi Reteti, Kenya. Halima Ludanga, Tanzania. Kipelo Obed, Tanzania. Miriam Makungu Makoka, Kenya.